one of the key determinants for you to break through the Scrum Master fee or become an agile practitioner is your ID card. What do I mean by your ID card? Of course, you will already identify that I'm talking about your resume, right? Because that is what represents you. Most often, also, there's a lot of misconception about resume, the right resume, the wrong resume, what should I put, what should I not put on my resume. And a lot of people kind of feel like, oh, I think my resume is the problem. That's why I'm not able to get a job. In this video, I'm going to cover all the different components of a resume, what you should consider including on your resume and what you should not consider putting on your resume. Now, although this might not be like the one size fit all, but this is what we have seen have more than 100 people, which we have worked with, land jobs as Scrum Masters. So you want to pay very close attention as I'm covering this component from your summary to your certification to education to how do you write down your job description, what are the words to pick and what not to choose. You want to make sure that you stay very close to it. But then if you watch my video on Monday, which I'm also going to add a link in here, one of the aspects I spoke about was building a solid case study, which is now what also add up in a resume. Now you realize that although a lot of people consider that the resume is like the most important thing, is an add up. Right. Now you'll be able to put on a solid resume and to defend it if you understand what are the different cases. Now, a resume is a presentation of different cases, which means that I have worked in this institution, I've worked in this institution, and this was my job description. So a resume is the reflection of your case study, which is why I said it's an ID. Remember, your ID represents you. So with or without the ID, you definitely will be able to tell someone about yourself, right? So a resume is something which you should master and know, not something which you get someone to do it and they have no idea of what it's talking about. When I talk to a lot of people, it's like, you know what? I think if I get a good resume, I'm going to do well in a job. I say, okay, what if I give you a good resume, which I definitely can write you a resume as perfect as possible, or maybe just give my resume to you and like, can you defend that? It's like, okay, you need to teach me how to do that. Now, this go to tell you that, right, a resume is good, but not just a resume, how to defend it. We are going to cover that in that video. It's a Thursday. For those who are looking forward to be Safe Scrum Master certified, we are running our next Safe certification. It's going to be a weekend training. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to start 20th of January. The seats are filling up very fast. You want to grab a seat. It's super practical. We do Jira training. We try to bring the reality of Scrum to you. For those who have been in the job market and you feel like, you know what, I'm not getting it and something is missing, you need a coach. There is definitely no two things you need. If you've been working on the journey on your own and you're not breaking through, you need someone that can show you exactly how to do it in order for you to break through. This is 2023. We need to do things differently. We need to tell you the reality. A Scrum job is not about a certification, resume, and a job. No, it's a whole lot about building an insight that help you stand out even when you get through the job. Now, we want to stay a bit visual. I'm going to be sharing my screen and I'll walk you through the different components which you should consider while building your resume. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. If you can see my screen, give me a thumb up. Definitely, I know you can see it. Okay, it's a Thursday. Let's get going. A resume that work for you, right? This is pay attention to the topic. It's a resume that work for you, not just any kind of resume, right? Number one, which is the first component on your resume, is the key summary. Anyway, I'm also going to show you the header, how you put your name and your address, what you should consider there, and why a key header is very important. Now, when I use these pictures on the right, what you want to notice is that you can easily pick out this blue, right? So your summary is something that should stand out. it should contain three key points. Number one, what is the value you're bringing on the table? Number two, the reason you are qualified for the job. And number three, what makes you stand out? You want to be able to include all of these components in your header. How does that look when you do that? Okay, let your name stand up high there alone. Your location is important. Your mobile number is important because they're going to call you. An email is important. Now, I recommend these resident status for those in the US or for those in Canada, especially if you have a green card or a permanent resident. I recommend that. So it makes you stand out. But then if you don't have the status or you want to leave this out, the reason you want to leave this out is because sometimes they get to talk to you because of the way you communicate. But also sometimes there's some contract that they're looking specifically for those who are citizen or those who are permanent resident. It also separates you, right? But it doesn't mean that if you're not any of these, you don't stand a chance. No, I always say that aside or beside your resume, your mindset, the way you think also gets you there faster. All right. So the first component, which is about the value, remember, I try to highlight the key component I want the recruiter to see immediately they get my resume. And also notice that there's quite some white space as I write along. Demonstrated business and product development expert in an agile environment, 10 years plus experience, right? Remember, when they read, they're just looking for, they take less than 10 seconds to do this. And it helps them to say, okay, let me give this person a call and have a conversation with them. Certified Scrum Master seeking to leverage Scrum and Agile, expertise in designing and developing. Now you see these three components that stand out. This is what you should not do. Right? I see a lot of people, it's not wrong, but then compare, if I see this header and I see this one, which one would I prefer to read? Right. So I see a lot of people put about a whole big paragraph in here. All right. Now, what can make someone really kind of pay attention to this? Like if you were competing against this one, you be the judge. Which one would they pick out first? You want to make the life of the recruiter easy. You don't want to put everything in a lump sum. Just put a summary. Right. One thing also about this one is that you're wearing a cap and you're pointing it, right? What did I say that? Look at here. Let Vera Scrum team and help them to become high performing, full committed to serving and guiding the team in its effort to deliver value and meet expectations stakeholder currently seeking position of Scrum Master. Now, this has not given me any idea about some of the key qualification which you're bringing on board. It just talk more about your soft skills, about what you do, right? Compared to this where we highlight and we kind of list out what are the different aspects in which you are competent on, what are some of the key certifications they might be looking at, what are some of the leadership aspects. Now, the third thing, which I believe it should come immediately after the key summary, are your certification. Make sure that you list all your certification immediately after your key resume. Why? Scrum is a certification-based exam or a certification-based career. So they want to see what certification you have. So it has to become competitive. So don't go put your certification right at the bottom, which kind of also strain the recruiter to start looking for it. Now, the third aspect which I want us to talk about is the skills. Now, the skills is what they're looking for. They're looking for a missing puzzle, and they want to see how you can tie in there. Right. So when we talk about the skill, look at, I kind of divide the skills into 5 different areas. Your knowledge about the Agile framework, which is the key determinant for the job, the tools and the technical skills, experience in Agile technique, your business skills, which is very important, and your leadership skills. These are the different kind of skills they are looking for. Now, the better you highlight them, the more better for you. You don't want to do something like this. you kind of listed something, but it's difficult for me to easily pick out this. And now look at this. In less than 5 or 6 lines, you've been able to summarize everything that they need, compared to just putting a lot of strong points there that cover a lot of space without adding so much value. Now, the next thing is about your work experience. I'm giving them in terms of the order I recommend for my students. Now, you might have something that's working for you. The goal of a resume is for it to work for you. So you want to pay attention. It's not for it to be right. It's what is working for you. So there is no right format, right? There's a better way of presenting, but there is no right format. Now, step 4, work experience. How should you list your work experience? Now, this is my recommendation. Now, definitely, I would recommend you have the title up here first, either of the work, but then I've seen the title up here first because the title kind of give person what they're looking for. Then you can go ahead with the company. Right here is going to be the company, the state, the state, and then the country right here. Now, for the job description, trust me, they're not looking for 15 points. They're not looking for complexity. You want to keep it. The reason I advise everyone to keep it at the basic is because I've seen a lot of people, they've been knocked out of interview because of their resume. They oversell themselves. And when the recruiters are like, oh, I saw this in your resume. Can you explain what is it like? Okay, you don't know. So it kind of gives them that you're not honest. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your points straight. Now, this is what I would not recommend. Look at this example. We start by giving a project. Let 3 Scrum team in an Agile release train. Now, this is an indication. If I were the recruiter or someone in the hiring team, I would be like, whoa, leading 3 teams. This is one thing that's going to be at the center of my interview. How are you able to lead 3 teams? How do you pull out these teams in a PI planning? 3 teams. You need to be available for all the teams in a safe environment. So because this person is trying to be so much ambitious, now they miss out so many things. They oversell themselves, which is what you don't want to do, right? So say to develop mobile-ready, cloud-based platform with stream, process, and intuitive tool called KPI Head Alley that empower patients to keep. Now, is it mobile-ready, cloud-based? So you see that you try to contradict yourself. Now you should go back to the video on I put on Monday to watch about how to build a case study. What to say? You say a business value rather than really complicating yourself with so many keywords. Now you want to see right here. Now you come right here. You see devise and define quarterly team requirement aligned with department and organization goal. If you work in a safe environment, I should hear you align with PI objective, not with department and organization goal. Now this is kind of a whole lot of stuff that I mix up, and all of this come because you kind of get people who doesn't really understand the value of a resume to start putting things together for you. It's an important, this is where the gap comes in. You have a good resume, you receive call, but you don't go anywhere because there is definitely no value you're bringing in. That's the reason why I emphasize on invest on yourself. Hire a coach. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be me, but you can get someone else to work with you. But then coming to my team is a big plus for you. Like you see, you can see a clear difference between the presentation. You don't just want to add up bullet point because you want to make your resume kind of look full, right? You want to make sure that you can defend every part of your resume. So very important, very important. All right. So look right here as well. If you look at this one, participate in PI, okay, Scrum meetings and community of practice trainings to find new ways to increase performance of my team and keep up with date and keep up to date with industry trends. Now, these are many things juggled together. PI planning has a different purpose. Scrum has a different purpose. Community of practice has a different purpose. You cannot juggle all of this together. Keeping your resume simple will help you. Now, the fifth part, which is about the education component. I recommend putting just the master just like this. The date, the university. Sometimes it's gonna be, you can take out these, right? Just showcase your degree. You can keep this out. So keeping your education section very simple, it's very important. We just want to see what is there. So there's definitely no need complicating this section, right? So now when you complete all of this step, it gives you now the power to build Tell Me About Yourself. And in the next video, which is going to be on a Monday, next Monday, I'm going to now zoom on how you apply your case study and you apply your resume to build a Tell Me About Yourself. So I'm going to see you on the video on Monday. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. And if this was helpful for you, share with someone. For those who want to get more practical into the scenario, not just listen to me online, right? But be with me in the whole process and let me guide you. Let me walk with you. Let's give you pre-interviews and all of that. Reach out and we'll definitely be glad to help you. Have a great Thursday and I'll see you Monday.